Welcome back, everybody. Happy to introduce our review on the Roto Grip UFO Alert. If you like what we do, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and check us out on Patreon. Alright, first impressions. The UFO Alert should be another popular shiny ASIM from the Star brand, but will it, with the first UFO already discontinued? Alright, let's jump in. Here we get the UFO Alert, which is a shiny hybrid version of the UFO. The only practical issue I see potentially is that the strong solid version has been discontinued. You don't typically see a line mate namesake that close to a current discontinuation. Not totally sure what to make of that, but Roto Grip does have the RST X1 and the Rubicon as the quote strong ASIM, so maybe having the UFO is overkill. Yeah, the RST X1 is also a hybrid, but with 3000 arbor on surface, and actually just goes to show that the final surface finish is the most important distinguisher in ball reaction. Anyway, onto the UFO Alert. We tested the dark code in the same session, and it was clear the UFO Alert is stronger, earlier, more forward rolling than the dark code. You might say, oh, dark code is pearl and this is a hybrid. Again, I look more importantly at the final cover stock finish. They're both 1500 grit Abalone, so typical sort of shiny ASIM, if you will. The Alert just wants to write itself more quickly, and that leaves you with a ball that hooks more. I mean, it may be more perception of angularity as well, but again, rolling earlier means more room to hook. You could see that it's also playable from direct, but that play was actually easier with the dark code. In other words, playing really tight to the friction, a little easier with the dark code. However, once in the track and beyond, the UFO Alert was clearly happier. It absolutely didn't mind circling the lane, and it was easier to use and more forgiving. Now I was able to leak it out to the friction and see that response that I didn't quite see with the dark code. The Alert definitely likes to rev up. Still, the further I moved in beyond that, the more it got finicky if I didn't hit it just right. Again, I'm not a high rev bowler, but with that said, it's probably one of those, break the factory polish to get a more consistent reaction. I would say that the UFO Alert is more clearly in the mid-defined role for me. Next up, we have Bryan testing the UFO Alert. Generally ball reaction and relative to other balls, he actually sees pretty similar. Just as I saw, but I would say even more pronounced, the UFO Alert was earlier than the dark code. Again, he's playing more direct up the board, so that became a little more easy to see when you're starting it up in the friction. And the Alert definitely starts up sooner. And gets into a roll quicker, and that meant Bryan saw a more arcing, rounded shape which he prefers, and it kind of matched. I would say it matched his game pretty nicely. He had a good look, and this time, as compared to the dark code, more missed room out due to the UFO Alert being stronger and earlier. So when it saw friction, it didn't scoot several feet longer and kind of slow to transition. Really just kind of picked up and went, right? It just picked up sooner and went. And that, I think, was a good characteristic to give him that extra miss room from out that he didn't quite have with the dark code. Final thoughts. At the end of the day, this continues the notion that Storm family knows how to make shiny ASIMs, and ones that will work for a lot of bowlers. I really hope the marketing piece isn't a letdown, with people knowing that the OG UFO has been discontinued. The UFO Alert is a good ball in its own right. I would say it's likely to be a good fit in the mid-defined category in the arsenal for most bowlers.